Hello and welcome to the season finale. Rachel covered her face because I'm going to start over because I put on my podcasting voice.
This will be the only time you'll hear the podcast voice.
Yeah, I know.
I know.
It dies away real quick. Hello and welcome to the season finale of season 3 of Agents of Travel. I'm joined by my co-host Rachel Van Ness, aka Secret Agent Sticky Top. No.
Oh my God. I'll speak for myself.
Yeah,
I'm Rachel
please.
Van Ness, aka Secret Agent Panakukin.
And I'm Garrett Palm, aka Secret Agent Sticky Toffee Pudding.
And today we have a special episode.
Yeah, it's a different one from normal. We are having our first return guest.
First return guest who has returned from a trip that was pitched on this podcast.
Yep. Rachel's pitch won, and so she took Rachel's trip.
Because only I recommended it and not other
Rachel
people.
recommended it.
So welcome back, Rekha!
Yay! Oh
Yay!
my gosh. I'm so happy to be here, guys.
Yeah,
so
thanks
thrilled.
for joining us.
Of course.
Mm-hmm. Since we didn't have the funding to send you on the trip, I'm so glad you just took it
Yes.
into your
Yeah,
own
no,
hands.
and I'll send you the receipts and stuff from whenever you're able to reimburse me and everything.
Totally.
Yeah, send us copy.
Okay.
Yeah, send us copies.
I'll send you
of the receipt.
copies.
It might
Yeah.
take your time in doing that. Like,
Okay.
really, as
Yeah,
long as
that's
you need-
nice.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
no like tight deadline on it.
Okay,
Yeah,
got
yeah,
it. That's really
yeah.
nice.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Um,
So, Rekha, you went to Vietnam.
Yes.
Yeah.
okay.
You didn't take my trip. Have you taken my trip to Colorado and New Mexico yet?
No, but
Okay.
I will say I have interest.
Okay.
I have interest.
I'll take
Incredible. Your interest
I'll take
hasn't
it.
gone down over time.
No, the interest has remained the same. I'd
Wow.
be interested in going to Colorado and or New Mexico.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
But right for today, this is a trip report
Yes.
on Vietnam.
Yes.
How long did you end up going for?
So I went to Vietnam for 5 days total on the
Okay.
way to going to Bali for my cousin's
Oh,
wedding.
cool.
So it was kind of like, wow, I'm making like a very long trip for my cousin's wedding. Might as well stop somewhere else in Asia that I haven't been. And I have very minimal experience in Southeast Asia. Plus, I had a recommendation from Rachel to go to Vietnam from this podcast, a recommendation from a coworker to go to Vietnam.
Who
Both
had been already?
he was supposed to go, and then the pandemic.
So you not only did
Oh.
your dream trip, you did
I did his dream trip
Wow.
for his honeymoon.
Oh.
That's crazy.
Yes.
So okay.
So you went on your coworker's honeymoon.
I know. I went on
for him.
for him on his
Yeah.
behalf.
Yeah.
An incredible thing you should all do.
Yes.
For other people, it's a great gift.
And was there a third recommendation? Or were those
There
the
was
top
a
two?
third recommendation from my aunt. I gave her a general, the aunt whose kid was getting married in Bali because she's Malaysian and Indian. And I asked, you've been to a lot of Southeast Asia. What are your recommendations? Her top 2 picks were, well, actually, no, 3 picks she had were Cambodia, Vietnam, and Thailand. She loved all of those,
Yeah.
but she was really harping on both Thailand and Vietnam. So it then just became kind of a choice of like, what's more convenient. And also I have been to Thailand. It was for less than 24 hours. So it literally actually doesn't count, even though we did
What?
do a tour.
But kind of
That doesn't, because I've spent 24 hours in Thailand and I count
and you
it.
count it. I feel that if I can't have a complete day there, I don't feel qualified to say I went to Bangkok by being there for, I think, 22 hours. I did go on a tour of the Golden Temples, but for that reason, plus your recommendation, Rachel, plus my coworker's recommendation, I was like, Vietnam sounds really cool.
sick.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So Rachel sent you in her pitch with a
Yes.
Top Chef contestant.
I forget. Wait, was it with
Maybe
two?
Chris, it
No,
would.
it was-
That would have been sick.
Yeah.
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 It was
He's
just a
very nice.
general contestant who knows Vietnamese cuisine.
Oh, incredible.
Yeah.
I would love to have done that.
Oh, so you didn't
But
do that?
I
Okay.
didn't go with a Top Chef contestant, unfortunately.
Instead, you
Okay.
went with your stinky ass boyfriend.
Yeah, who is barely ever on Top Chef, if at all, if I can recall.
If you
Yeah.
should be so lucky to watch.
I
I know. I haven't
know.
seen every season. I haven't seen the
Yeah.
early
Yeah,
season.
so
I-
maybe
I
he could
can't-
be
yeah,
there.
He could be there. He could be there.
But yes, we went to Vietnam and we went to a few different places, one of which was your recommendation, like specifically.
Ooh.
We did Hanoi, Ha Long Bay, Hoi An, and Da Nang.
Oh,
Okay,
cool.
walk us through
Okay.
each of
Yeah.
them.
So I will say a very interesting story happened upon arrival to
I've
Hanoi.
heard- okay, yes, please.
This is famous.
Yeah.
It bears
Let's
repeating.
hear this story.
So listen, Asia's incredible. I love Asia. My boyfriend had never been to Asia, and I think that is sad. So this was going to be his first time in Asia. And it was like, well, we're going to Bali. That's going to be like a really kind of curated experience given the place we're staying at. Let's go somewhere else. Okay, we're going to Vietnam. This is going to be so cool. I've never been there either. Had all sorts of lovely plans lined up, including a Halong Bay like boat tour. That
Overnight,
looked- overnight, yeah.
Oh, wow.
That looked like really cool,
Oh,
really
that's
beautiful.
cool.
It was like we chose the one that was overnight because it takes a minute to get there from where we were in Hanoi. So it's like you might as well do the overnight thing because it just takes, you won't get to really experience much by the time you have to go back. All this stuff planned. So we
And
arrived.
you're a very good planner.
I love to plan, literally planning every single second of my life. And we arrive in Hanoi, and you need visas to go to a lot of places in Asia, including Vietnam. And there are some places where you can get a visa on arrival, but it's not always guaranteed, or also the line might be super long. And if you're getting in late, if you can, maybe getting a visa ahead of time is a good idea. So
And
that's-
as a planner, no problem.
and as a planner, literally no problem. Can get you a visa today, anywhere.
Whoa. Okay,
sorry.
we'll talk after.
Reka's
talk.
better than us at our jobs.
So we got our visas ahead of time. And this is not to put blame anywhere. I will say, I had thought maybe we'd get them at the same time. But my boyfriend got his, he was like, oh, I got mine yesterday. I was like, oh, okay, I'll just do mine then. Okay. This will become relevant
He
in a moment.
outplanned you.
Wow.
And we arrive in the Hanoi airport. It's like 11 p.m. And he had done such a good job of planning how we would get from the airport to whatever our hotel was. So he called all of the hotels or WhatsApped them. He had never had WhatsApp before. Actually, he took it. Maybe he had it, but doesn't like it. And as you should not like WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was messaging all these people asking about their airport shuttles if they had any. So he had like a shuttle set up for us, which was so nice.
Proactive.
Yeah.
It was so proactive, so great. It was
He's
like
on
11
top
p.m.
of things.
on top of it. Till we get to Hanoi and we're clearing immigration and he gets stopped. And they're like, your visa has the wrong date on it, which is huge for them. And it was like, well, it's a typo. It just says the wrong month. And to his credit, that website had a little bit of jankiness to it where like sometimes you'd enter something and it would kind of lag and like click something else or whatever. And it also other countries, literally every other country does their dates and months in the reverse order. So
yeah.
maybe harder to double check yourself at first blush. So he asserted it was a typo. They did not care.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they were like, you are not allowed in the country. I had already cleared. And so I'm like waiting and I'm like, what's going on? And then he's WhatsApping me and I'm like, oh my God. I don't know what to do. I've not encountered this issue before. So I was like giving him my best tips. He's an adult also and is asking around to a lot of people. And it's late at night, so not everyone is there that could possibly be helpful.
Your shuttle to the hotel
Is there.
waiting for you.
And it was like, okay, let's forget about him for a second. What are my options? I'm like, do I go with him to wherever he's going? 1. 2, am I allowed to?
Yeah,
I'm
back-
already
back
out.
on those.
Yeah. Because then would my visa like be no? I don't know the answers to these things. And then 3, I don't want to. It sounds so annoying.
Bye, honey.
I was truly
You
just
only have 5 days.
I only have 5 days. The shuttle's here. I don't want to do any of that. That sounds so bad. And so I was like, what would you like me to do? Because I was trying to make calls for him
Yeah.
while he's like talking to people in person, like at certain desks and whatever. and we weren't really getting any conclusive answers. I think I was on like Reddit for like r/Vietnam, seeing if other people had this issue, yada, yada. We're not really getting a ton of conclusive answers besides like talk to someone at the desk, see if you can get an emergency like last minute visa, go through a broker to do that. Sorry, those are my nails. Yeah. So do you want me to pause?
No.
Okay. So we're going through all this. He was like, I think you should just go. And it's like, oh no. Really? I don't want to.
Oh my God,
no.
I guess I
Oh crap.
will.
I have to go to the hotel.
Can't wait to go
no.
starfish in the bed by myself.
Oh no. And he was like, I will figure it out. And I was like, okay. And this is he's not a big traveler.
Not
And he's
really
never
an
been to
international
Asia.
traveler.
No. He's only been to Europe and to places where he spoke whatever language that was.
Yeah, second America.
Yeah, so
I guess probably first America because it came first.
Yes.
Europe came
Anyway,
first.
Europe
Yeah.
came first.
Yeah.
I'm here to set the record.
Yeah. And so he is dealing with that stuff. I'm at the hotel and just kind of like WhatsApping him more information if I can find it. Like now that I have my like laptop and stuff.
You're in your robe.
Yeah,
You've got a towel in your
I went.
hair.
I
You've
mean,
just taken a bubble bath.
truly just. Whoo. And he's like, okay, I contacted an emergency broker. They said that they can get me a visa for tomorrow, but I have to leave the country. So I guess when you are denied entry into a country, and maybe other countries have different rules, it's not that like you can just stay in that airport.
Yeah.
You have to leave the country. And they don't mind wherever you go. It doesn't matter where you go. You just simply have to
Get the fuck out.
enter from somewhere else.
Yeah.
So they were like, you should go to Thailand because, which is ironic given what I told you about our planning of this trip. You should go to Thailand because you don't need a visa as an American citizen. So that will be easier. The other option was him going to the United States
Fucking
again.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thailand is
that's
a quick,
game over.
right, yeah.
Yeah. So it was like an hour and a half flight. And he was like, okay. So you had to book a ticket to Thailand.
Yeah.
And then he's like, basically, I just need to arrive in Thailand, catch the next flight from Thailand to Hanoi, and then I'll be able to secure this visa in theory. So he waits in he gets on a flight to Thailand, waits in that airport for a few hours because I think he needs to have that visa secured to buy his ticket back to Hanoi is the deal. And you ding dong. That was me, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm talking to myself and I'm a ding dong.
Yeah, not Danny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Danny's famously really quiet and respectful.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
me.
yeah.
He would never.
And so then the next day comes and he like slept in the Thailand airport
Yeah.
for like a few hours. And then he's like, great, I'm contacting them about my visa today. And the guy was like, hey, I can't get you your visa today. And he's like, no, I paid for it to come today. He's like, I know, but Vladimir Putin is coming to Hanoi. So all
God.
of the visa clearance and security people are going to be completely occupied with that. They're not checking or like authorizing any visas today. And he's like, but you told me. And they're like, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Putin.
Yes,
But
because
Putin.
Putin is coming. And so he got a hotel at the Bangkok airport just to like, he had not slept or eaten properly. He like had granola bars or something in his.
He must have just been like
Totally.
a fucking mess.
I mean, I was like astonished at how well he was holding up. Like anytime I was talking to him on WhatsApp, he was like, yeah, I'm just figuring this out. I'm like,
so proud.
I'm very
Yeah.
proud of you. You've not eaten a real meal. You've not showered. When you're doing this stuff alone too, it's like you can't go to the bathroom without carrying all your crap with you.
Yeah.
He's just lugging around crap.
and you
anytime.
guys are going to a wedding later.
Exactly.
That's like
He's got a lot of
shit.
crap. And so he like plants at this Bangkok hotel, orders like a veggie burger. I like sent him a little like sympathy money, like go buy something. He like orders a veggie burger and sleeps for like 14 hours.
He probably that probably saved the trip in and of
Yeah.
itself.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
And so, by the way, during this
Yes.
time,
What were, you were, I'm sure you were like just I'll stay in the hotel and
I'll
sympathy.
wait for
I'll wait for you.
I'll wait for my boyfriend.
I'm
to
not
I'll do
leaving.
nothing fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's interesting actually is that our cruise to Halong Bay was supposed to be the next day. And it was from Hanoi. So you're supposed to meet somewhere in the Old Quarter and then they drive you to Halong Bay and then you get on the boat and it's an overnight thing. So I was like, what should we do about this cruise? And we thought, no, he's going to be able to get in just like early tomorrow morning or something. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, cool. I won't push it off then. I don't even know if I can. And then he gets that call that's like the visa, Vladimir Putin, blah, blah, blah. So he calls me and I'm like, damn, okay. I might be like mixing up the order of events because it's so confusing. So basically I like got on the shuttle and I was like, okay, I guess I'll do this cruise by myself. And then he called me while I was in the shuttle and he's like, wait, they think they can get me in tomorrow. I would just have to stay overnight in Thailand. And I'm like, you'd get in the morning before the cruise leaves? He's like, yeah. I'm like, can they push it? So I'm contacting this woman on WhatsApp, the nicest woman. I gave her like 100,000 star review. I was like, this woman is perfect. I was like, I literally wrote like, give her a promotion. She was so helpful. I was like, there's no way I can push this a day. Is there? She's like, yes. And I was like, really? Everyone in Vietnam is the nicest person I've ever met. They're like, yes, you can push this a day. And I was like, but I'm already in the shuttle. She's like, it's okay. They'll turn around. I was like, what? So the shuttle turned around and dropped me back off at my hotel.
That
and
is
was like,
fucking crazy.
see you tomorrow. And I tried to tip him and like tipping isn't maybe exactly what it is here, or at least this person did not want it. And I was like, oh, okay. You like did a bunch of extra work. I mean, you only drove like 15 minutes out, but I'm like, that's your time.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll tip you. And he was like, no. I was like, okay. Why are you all incredible?
So nice. I know that's so nice too when you're like really going through something and
Yeah.
you're in like a new place, and then it also turns out that like it makes you believe in humanity.
I was like,
again.
oh, everyone's trying to be helpful. And it was a weird thing because suddenly every person at like the hotel I was at knew, the person whose boyfriend got stuck at the airport, which is really funny.
You developed a bit of a
reputation.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, so we were able to push the cruise. So then I had this like free day.
Wow.
So I just wandered around Hanoi
Awesome.
eating everything.
Uh,
And that was so hard for me.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it
I also
stung.
feel like you're
One of the-
very happy to travel alone, so that was
Yes.
probably
Yeah.
nice. You almost got that time.
It was very nice because I could just walk around, just pop into like the way I travel, as you know from the Portland trip you guys actually did really help me plan. I went by myself. I ate at 30 places in like 6 days because that's all I want to do. And some people don't want to eat at 5 restaurants a day, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And kind of split, like have an appetizer here, dinner thing here,
Yeah.
whatever. That's insane. But I like to do that. So it was nice. And then I randomly stumbled upon a Michelin star, not randomly to me, an outsider.
Yeah.
There was just a Michelin star vegetarian restaurant.
Fuck.
Like a 15-minute walk
What?
called Kodam Chai. So chai in Vietnamese
Yeah.
will always indicate like vegetarian.
Oh.
So I was always looking for stuff that said chai at the end, but this was like a Michelin star place. It looked really pretty and it was walking distance. So I walked there. I don't even know if I had a reservation, or no, maybe I made one, like an emergency last minute one.
Yeah.
And I arrived and there was like no people in there. I was like, okay, good or bad, I don't know. They were so sweet. The food was very interesting.
Really?
Okay.
Some of it was like first of all, 11 courses for $55 American dollars. And that included a drink.
Dude, that's
If it-
fucking
I know.
awesome.
I think it would have been 50 or 45 if I had not gotten a drink.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
We're going to a fancy place like
Yes.
that on our next trip.
Yes.
Colombia. Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you should be charging more, but America should also be charging less. This
Yes.
is
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
And I will say, of those 11 dishes, I had 2 that were like truly spectacular.
That you'll still think about.
Yes,
Yeah.
the rest were like fine. They were not my favorite, but they were still really interesting. And the restaurant was really pretty, and like it was just a cool experience.
What were the 2 dishes?
Yeah.
Okay, do you want? I know this is a podcast, but I have pictures.
Okay.
Okay, So
If you send me those pictures,
yes, I
might
can put
add
them.
Yeah.
Okay, great. This is definitely going to be really interesting to people.
No, it's great.
Me just kind of
So
looking.
Rekha is looking through her phone right now.
Yeah,
Scrolling through a
okay.
bunch of
Where could
photos.
it
And it's actually really interesting and
It's
really
very
cool.
It's actually really interesting and
Lot of
really
cool
cool.
photos here.
Yeah. Okay. Via.
Okay.
Hey, she's trying to make it
Searching.
faster.
Okay, and it's actually
And
kind
the
of going
pressure is
slower.
really making it slower.
This is so weird.
That's
How
kinda how it
Yeah, I
slowly.
works.
can't find her.
A little
I know,
insight.
but here. What the hell? Okay, great.
It's a section.
It's
She's
a-
She
yeah.
should
scrolled
have
by a
trusted
bunch.
her.
I should have
album.
charged.
Yeah.
It's so sick. Okay,
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
So I took pictures of every single one of the courses, of course, and
As you do, yes.
as
you're
must,
supposed to, yeah.
you must do that. So the menu was a paper fan with
Oh.
all of the entrees
cool.
written, and the numbers below I added to when I ranked them all privately to myself.
That is hilarious. That
Again,
is psycho.
fully eating by
I love
myself.
it.
That was a really cool drink I had. It was like a passion fruit tea that was really
Whoa.
good.
Wait,
Oh yeah,
can
go ahead.
So it's a, it looks like a vase.
It's like a vase with
With a
tea,
leaf
with like
sticking out?
iced tea in it. Because
Yeah.
like it was the hot. I've been to India many times in my life.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know if I've ever been as hot as I was in Vietnam.
Really?
It was the hottest,
So humid.
unbelievably humid. Like I bought a water at a like a convenience store. It was slipping out of my hands when I
God.
walked out of the
What
store.
time of
my
year were
God.
you there?
June.
'Cause Rachel told you to go in spring,
No, but like
You-
beginning of spring.
beginning of spring.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Should've
No, because
listened.
I'm okay. I'm scared now because
Yeah.
the hottest I've ever
Yeah.
experienced was Delhi in July.
Yeah.
Have you been in Delhi in July?
I've been to India in July.
In July, and it was hotter than that.
I found it hotter than that.
Damn.
But also, I guess maybe I was walking around more than normal because I'm like trying to explore a new city.
Yeah.
And maybe also
No,
like
I
the
was walking around.
humidity is
Yeah.
like the humidity was like 100% every day.
Jesus.
The temperature was like 110
Oh
or
my
something.
God.
People
Okay.
just out? Are they
Yeah.
like, no, you don't go out during this?
They're just out, but there's like a lot of like fans around
yeah.
and like lots of like cold beverage situations.
Yes.
I
Okay,
don't need to go through all 11 courses.
Okay,
But
show
what
me
were the
your
two?
favorite.
Okay, the
Yeah.
favorites were let's see. Okay, we're coming. Oh, this was like a crispy spring roll with mushrooms and a this was like little tiny shaved down beets in like a
What?
sweet like
Ooh.
citrusy sauce
Oh.
with a ton of herbs. I love that Vietnamese food has
Yeah.
so
Yes.
many herbs. I can eat
Yes.
herbs like a salad. Like
Yeah.
they're just the best part of everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're big herb. We're big into
we're
herbs.
big
Yeah,
herb.
we're big herb.
Big herb. And then this thing freaking slapped. This was
Whoa.
sticky rice wrapped in a banana leaf and it was like smoked. And then
Whoa.
this is like
there's a
mushroom, like
crispy-
shaved crispy
Okay.
like mushroom.
Sick.
And then like a turmeric sauce.
A yellow sauce.
That
in the-
it was
okay.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
This dessert stunk. But they did give me 2 desserts and that rolls.
Yeah.
So that was awesome. And then
Man.
the next day I was like, okay, my boyfriend and I'll go on this cruise. He is not able to get that visa in time.
Oh.
Fuck.
So I go on this cruise by
Cruise
myself to
yourself
Holland Bay.
anyway after all of that.
So I have a ton of pictures that I took myself in Holland Bay. And I went on
Oh,
all these
man.
excursions by
Was it
myself.
Beautiful.
It's very beautiful.
Yeah, it looks incredible.
I would say if you go, definitely do things that have excursions. Otherwise, it's just kind of like you're watching something beautiful, but you like really want to like
Interact
walk it.
with it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's kind of like a bunch of little hikes in some areas that you can go on.
Yeah.
So prioritize finding the cruises that let you do that
That's
stuff.
what I've been thinking about that
Yeah.
recently because I was like thinking about the Norwegian
Yeah,
fjords.
right.
And like so many people just do a cruise through
Yeah.
it. And I'm like, oh, I want to just like spend a couple of days
yeah.
and really soak it in.
Yeah, because I think I never thought of myself as that type of person because I love sitting and I don't
Yeah.
like to be active. But
But I think you can like do a
Exactly.
hike through it and then sit.
Exactly. And then it really can appeal to both types of person, people who like sitting and people who don't. And because I just think there's almost a little bit of sadness if you're just watching it from the boat.
Yeah, willing to be like, I came all this way to not go like the last 1%.
Exactly. And because it's like supposed to be a recreational like boat trip, they're not necessarily being like, here's information about these things. You're kind of just looking and looking and looking. And it's like, to do the excursions, you get to like hike, talk to people. Maybe you see a plaque that says something interesting or see a statue or whatever. So that was cool. I got to like hike up some of those rocks. Got really good views.
Man.
It is the hottest you could ever be.
Oh,
and
man.
I'm wearing like bug repellent clothing because I wasn't sure, given the time of year, how many bugs would be out. But I think in all the areas I was in, even when I was in Halong Bay, not buggy at all. I know there are some areas in the north that might be. But it was so funny too. And this goes across all the countries I've been to in Asia. We will be like, from America, like, I need my Hokas with my Dr. Scholl insoles and I'm like, there were Asian people walking in flip flops up all of these steps and or barefoot. I'm like, you go off, unbelievable.
Yeah, it's kind of like you're. It's like you feel like you've become like the human version of a pug.
Yeah, I'm like totally all my appendages are useless unless like heavily cushioned. And
and then you're like watching like the cattle dogs and you're like, oh. Oh no!
I'm a pug. Truly, I could not believe, and I'm like, you know what? We're just so built different. Like, I'll go to India and like all the temples, you have to take your shoes off, and I'm like, because my feet are burning, and my dad's like,
and they're baby feet.
Our babies are like
calluses.
And they're like perfect. I'm like, oh, something's wrong with us.
Yeah.
Damn.
So it was very beautiful. And it was so funny staying in like a big 2-person like suite.
Yeah. So like when you were on the boat, were you spending any time in the room? Were you going outside? Were you like reading a book?
I was
like,
reading in the mornings, and then I did all the excursions I could. There was like one like crab or fish one or something.
Where you're like,
I literally detached from what it was because I don't don't I was like, okay, not interested.
What book were you reading? Was it like for pleasure?
Pleasure, nothing. It was like, oh my God, it takes me so long to read books, so it probably should have been a recent book. What was it? Oh, it might have been. You know, I'll get back to you. Every book I read is about like a sad woman. So I'm like confusing them. They're literally all sad women books. That's like my favorite genre.
And like, were you hot in your room on the boat still? Like
the boat was pretty air conditioned.
Okay, there was.
The boat was really nicely air conditioned. The hotel the first night had like broken air conditioning. So you were kind of like that type of hot where it feels like you're like, I always need a blanket no matter what. I'm like, I don't need anything right now. I feel like I'm wearing 15 blankets for whatever reason.
So while you were on this boat excursion, is that when your boyfriend got into Hanoi?
Yes. So
you weren't even there to welcome.
I was not there. So what's also funny about that is that morning that I left for the cruise, we were supposed to go to a different hotel because like we would in theory would have done the cruise. We were going to go to this other hotel that was like nicer than the other hotel. We would just gotten that hotel as like a really cheap. It was like $40 or $30 a night kind of hotel. So we were going to actually stay at this nicer one. So I had already checked my stuff into that place and then gone on the cruise. So my stuff was already there when my boyfriend got there.
He just arrived to your luggage.
Exactly, truly. So goofy. And then what happened? This was funny. If he needed to contact me, now I was at sea. Yeah. So the ability to communicate was so bad. And the funniest thing was happening. WhatsApp is a really awful app. I cannot
I'm not a
condemn it enough. Yeah. It's really cumbersome, like to make a chat and you'll make a chat within a chat. The type of stuff going on WhatsApp is disgusting. It's all like horrible political memes and like right-wing stuff and like weird spam from your immigrant family that's like forwarded a million times and it has no source or whatever. It's not good. I set a 2-minute timer on WhatsApp every single day.
Wow,
I'm not allowed
2 minutes.
you're not allowed to look at this for more than 2 minutes.
Wow.
Because I would like read everything going on in my family chat. I'm like, no, this is so unhealthy.
Yeah.
It is so bad. So it's strict 2-minute cutoff. So I had to lift that for my boyfriend. Yeah. But some glitch was happening where I think I actually saved this in my Vietnam album. It is so funny to me. It kept calling me from his phone. So I didn't save all the screenshots.
But yeah,
his phone
it's just-
called me 73 times.
Oh my God.
And
You like, is he dead?
No, Rachel.
Is he
Because here's
dead?
what happened. So we'd be on the phone talking through stuff, and then it would hang up. And then we'd get back on, and then I'd get a call waiting from him. And then we'd be done talking, and then I'd get a call from him. And then I'd pick up, and there'd be nothing. And then I'd get another call.
So it is a glitch.
There,
yeah.
I want to say maximum, it was about 15 seconds between each call. He was calling me, whatever that is per minute. Just
yeah.
incessant calling. And
4 times per minute.
it was exactly 4 times per minute, 15 times 4, exactly 4 times per minute. In the middle of it was like he was depleting my battery. If I wanted to do anything,
my
he just
God.
kept calling me.
And you couldn't know which, if he ever wanted to
If it
actually
was
call
true or
you.
not.
And
Yeah.
I was messing. I'm like, do you need, your phone keeps calling me. He's like, I'm not calling you. I'm not calling you.
Yeah.
I'm like, while getting a call from him 73 times.
God.
And
my
I was like,
God.
I am so sorry. I have to block you because I have to go to bed. But
Yeah.
it kept breaking through my do not disturb because do not disturb says if you get called 3
3
times in a
times.
row, it's an
Yeah.
emergency.
No.
And he was breaking through it every 2 seconds. And I was like, I have to block you.
That is crazy.
And so I blocked him for the whole night because
Yeah.
I was like, I can't sleep.
So if yeah.
If he dies, I can't. I'm sorry. I have to go to bed. And
Maybe
like,
he could try to Facebook call you.
yeah, exactly.
Messenger,
Something modern like that.
Yeah.
It's that was crazy. So then I unblocked him in the morning, and then
They just started back up.
yes, I think so.
God.
I think it eventually
Awful.
died down. I think he maybe deleted it or something and
Yeah.
added it
Oh,
again.
God.
I was like, I haven't experienced a mania like this.
Yeah.
where it's just like
you became a sad woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. My book was about a sad woman who keeps getting WhatsApp calls.
From her boyfriend
Yes.
she was trying to have
Yeah.
a Vietnam vacation
Yes.
with, but
Yeah.
now can't seem to get in touch with.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So then finally, the boat trip ended. Got back to Hanoi. He was there chilling. You know what he did the night before? He went to the Michelin vegetarian restaurant by
Whoa,
himself.
by-
Did he
Without your-
psychotically rate them on the fan menu?
No,
Did you tell him to go to it? or
I
was
told
he-
him it was
okay,
there. And I was
okay,
like, because
yeah.
I had found it before we got there.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And then I was like, let's go to this once you get here. And then it's like, I went by myself. And then he's like, I'll go by myself.
Yeah.
I love that
I
he
know.
went.
Ships
I
in
think
the
that's
night.
awesome.
Yeah.
And does he like to do things by himself? Or
Yeah,
is
all
that
the time.
more?
All the
Okay,
time.
cool. So
Yeah.
he was also like, this
He
is great.
loves exploring a city. He was totally fine.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so
Okay.
not very, very independent. Yes, we finally linked up.
Wow.
Cute. And
So-
this is 2 days later?
Yeah,
two or 3 days into the trip.
2 or 3 in a
Something-
5-day trip.
trip, yeah.
So
Wow.
halfway through, you guys
Yes.
linked up.
So
Yeah.
then we were scheduled to go to Da Nang. So we flew to Da Nang, which is like a beach area in Vietnam, which is really cool.
Cool.
I'm trying not to tell him too much about Halong Bay because I can't tell if
Yeah.
it'll make him sad
I
or he'll be like,
know.
"That's so cool."
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
So I was like pretty like, yeah, it was cool. What
Yeah.
was going on
That
with
was
you?
fun.
Let's focus on the
How was the
present.
hotel?
Yeah. And how was Thailand?
yeah.
So then we go to Da Nang, very pretty beaches. We go parasailing, the one where
Paragliding,
Gla-
parasailing.
the one you're
I
in a
don't know.
parachute up high.
Dude, that's fucking
I don't know.
sick.
And I don't know how to swim. So that was really crazy
Oh my
for
god!
me.
So you're
I'm
You're
nuts.
an adventure girl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So that was really fun. And it was like, he loves the beach, loves the water. So I think he had a blast doing that. Also, very funny about that part is like, we didn't notice it was cash only at the thing. So we'd already done it. It was like, oh, I will go get cash. But I don't speak the language. I don't know my way around. So I'm like navigating using my map, but it only has like selected service. The nearest ATM I found was like 30 minutes walk. So
Oh my God.
my boyfriend just waited with this guy for like an hour. Like, I was so nice. I'm like, why
Yeah.
is everyone sort of? I came back with the cash. He was like, that took a long time. I'm like, I couldn't find an ATM. because it was like a beach town. So I thought there'd be one close by, but it's just like everything that looked like one wasn't, or it was out of service or something.
Or it's like you should just know that you need cash.
You need cash or whatever.
Yeah.
So Da Nang was cool, and then we did a Da Nang food tour, vegan food tour.
Oh, where did you find the food tour?
On Viator.
Viator.
I highly recommend Viator. TripAdvisor probably has some, but I did a vegan food tour in Mexico City, and it was my favorite part of the whole
Viator?
trip. I believe so. And it was my favorite part of the whole trip.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they take you to places you literally would not have found.
Yeah.
And they can like tell you info about how to eat it, depending on the thing it is, or like the history behind it or whatever. And usually it is just someone that lives there. So some people might think, that's a ripoff. I'm like, I'll pay to know where like locals eat.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
As opposed to just kind of like fumbling around.
And pay a local.
Totally. I pay a local person.
Yeah.
Because our Mexico
great.
City one, she ended up being this like super lefty, cool lady that was like, here is like a super working class district that like no restaurants are at except this one hole in the wall taco place that like everyone here goes to. And like it's vegan and it's going to ruin you for life. And I'm like, no joke. Totally right. I'm like,
Well,
those were like the best tacos.
I got to get that taco
You
rack,
gotta,
too.
because it was so good. So I was like, I gotta do another vegan food tour.
Yeah.
This woman took us to 7 or 8 places for dinner. We ate.
Hell
We
yeah.
split like 7 entrees.
Oh, that's so
It was
cool.
awesome.
Was it just the two of
It
you?
was just
or
the two of us and her.
And her? Wow.
That is cool.
It was
That's
so
so fun.
awesome. And it was places I never would have gone
Yeah.
to. And one of them was like around the corner from our hotel and it had like incredible like glass dumplings, like glass noodle dumplings where they're like see-through.
Yeah.
So chewy, so good. Then we have, go ahead.
Was it almost a better meal than your Michelin?
Let me tell you, this lady gets a lot of props because after our eating 45 meals with her, including one of my favorite things I ate on the trip, which was a dessert, we went to like an iced dessert shop. I'm forgetting the like name for those shops, but I got like beans on ice, which I feel like you guys would like.
Yeah.
And it was like red beans, kidney beans, white beans, mung beans, and green beans with coconut milk over ice.
Whoa.
Unbelievable. So good.
That's
Basically like
awesome.
like eating like a red bean dessert, but it's all types of beans.
Yeah.
Damn.
Unreal. So good. And then my partner got like tofu with chocolate on ice.
Ooh,
Oh my
that sounds
God.
great.
And it's so hot out and it's like
Yeah.
so refreshing.
Yeah.
So condensed milk and ice.
Oh
too,
my
for
God.
me.
I
It's
know, it's
so
really
it's gonna
good.
be a winner.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
She was like, we're going to try to go to Hoi An for like a little day trip. We heard it has a really cool night scene with like a lot of markets. She's like, yeah, and the best banh mi you'll ever eat is there. And I was like, okay, go on. And she's like, go to Madame Khan, I think it was called, Kanh. Let me look. Madame Khan, Khanh, the banh mi queen. And we were like, okay, this will be good, you know. Stupid. So the best by hands
What made
down.
it the best? Like, was it just like everything was done perfectly? Did she do anything different? Are you pulling up a picture?
I'm pulling it up on Google Maps and it
Yeah.
has over 7,000 reviews.
Oh
yeah,
my God.
7,601, 5 stars.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think that banh mi cost $3 American. It was so good. And I'll show you the picture and it won't even look like anything. And I don't want to tell you about the other best restaurant I went to. It looks like maybe nothing. But first of all,
But the best banh mi of your life.
first of all, the bread, and this is what our tour guide told us. She's like, because wheat was so expensive during like French rule, etc., a lot of bread doughs are mixed with rice flour because rice is so common in Vietnam. And so banh mi bread isn't just French baguette.
Yeah.
French baguettes were so expensive to make and to buy. It's cut with rice flour. So that's why real banh mi bread
Yeah.
is much softer because it has that like mochiko kind of flour.
Yeah. I had no idea.
I
Is
didn't
that-
either.
Cool.
Is that here? You know,
I
is
don't
that
know if they do that here
Well,
because I've
yeah.
had it on straight up French baguette
I know,
here.
same. I feel like, yeah.
I had not really known about this fact until she said this had egg. It had a ton of herbs, but not like the pickled daikon kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
we also had jalapenos and maybe there's also tofu in here. I wish I had a better way to describe it. It was truly easily the best banh mi I've ever had in my
Yeah.
life. And it was
Damn.
spicy and so good. And $3.
That helps. That
Yeah.
always helps.
It always helps. And we went to another restaurant in Hawaii I forgot to tell you about. That was just like, I randomly found it online. And it's called Katz's, Katzes.
Okay.
And it's,
Deli.
well, that's what I thought of. And it was this man who you walk in and the menu says, you get 3 items for free, but we get to choose. And it's an all vegetarian place. And I'm like, that
What?
sounds like my absolute heaven.
I know.
I'm
That
like,
is crazy.
I get to
I
play
love
roulette
this.
with you and I get to eat whatever it
Yeah.
is. There's like no harm. The 3 items he chose were the best items. So it was like
Wow.
this soup that you could dip your rice and stuff into that was
Cool.
like seaweed and other greens, I think.
Looks
I might
very
be wrong.
fresh.
It was
Yeah.
so fresh and good. This unbelievable tofu that was just like pan fried really well with like nice like citrusy sauces and herbs. And then he gave us like a nice peanut noodle dish.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Have you been to Vin Loy here in LA?
No.
Have we told you about it?
I would like to go.
It's
We'll all go
Yeah, we'll
sometime.
go
Let's go.
because
The guy makes his own tofu.
the guy makes his
Yeah,
own tofu.
that
It's
slaps.
vegan Vietnamese
Yeah.
in Reseda.
That rocks.
But you go in, if you are
Yeah.
with a big enough group, you go in and just say like, feed me.
Yeah.
And he just like, okay, here you go.
I love that. This guy
Yes.
also was like trying to teach my boyfriend how to eat the thing because it
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
oh, you dip it in these 2 sauces, then you eat it, and he fed him,
Oh.
and it was really beautiful. So that I like. I like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Okay, wait. So as you guys are doing all this and
Yes.
seeing all these things, like how are you and your boyfriend getting along? Are you guys just having the
Swimmingly.
best time?
We're
Yeah,
eating.
yeah.
We're walking. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
Um,
like you both work very hard, so
Yes.
you're also
Yes.
like getting to enjoy each other in a relaxed,
Yes,
exploratory
which was really
state,
nice.
which is very cute.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we did a pretty good job like communicating and
Mm-hmm.
like doing stuff but not doing too much stuff and exhausting each other
Yeah.
and yada yada. Like he loves to have a little silent reading time. Like I don't care. I like my little TV time. That's fine.
Cute.
So
Is that how you
worked
would
out.
end like most of your nights, where it's like you're gonna read, I'm gonna watch TV.
We-
this works for
I
us.
think we ended up watching a lot of garbage television together, which is
cute.
nice.
That
Must.
Yes.
what was your garbage show?
I'm
Yeah.
trying to remember because we had certain things we couldn't watch because it was in Vietnam. So the VPN, we didn't have like a
Yeah.
VPN.
Yeah, yeah.
So it must have been, I'm like, was it episodes of Alone I had downloaded? Maybe. I don't remember now.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
A very poignant show
Yeah,
for your
yeah,
trip.
yeah, for the trip.
For a
It's so
long
Did
time.
silly.
did you watch any Vietnamese television while you were there?
No, I
Oh,
should
okay.
have.
It's
Damn.
I always enjoy.
Yeah. Watching a local.
Can
Yeah.
be wild.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
Okay, so you went to all these food locations. You did beach.
Yeah.
What else did you
Yeah.
We went,
see?
yeah, we went to Hoi An, which is like the lantern city.
Ooh.
They have like, they're like beautiful lanterns out at night.
Oh, cool.
Kind of
Oh my
thing.
gosh.
Yeah.
And then I forgot to mention in Da Nang, we saw a lot of cool sights. Among them, this dragon bridge that blows fire
What?
every
What the
Sunday,
fuck?
and then it blows water afterwards.
More bridges should blow,
fire. You know what I mean? That's what
That
I always
is
say.
cool.
It
Yeah.
was really cool. And then, in Hoi An too, we were like walking around and we just were looking for a drink somewhere. And we went to this bar that was the most empty bar in the entire world. And they had little snacks at the table that were basically like spicy corn nuts, but like tiny. Actually, just like spicy corn pops.
Okay.
They
yeah.
were incredible. And we were like, can we get more of these? And they're like, yeah. I asked, like, where did you guys get these? Like, and the woman's like, oh, I make them. And we were like, can we buy some? And she charged us literally no money for these like bags of her homemade snack. I was like, I'm in heaven.
I know. I know.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
those were the 4 stops we
Okay.
made.
Vietnam has always been high on my list.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like such a foodie paradise, especially for veggies.
And I feel like I didn't know that for the longest time because a lot of the Vietnamese food I have seen in
Yes.
America,
It's always like you could have pho.
Yeah,
or
you can
banh
ha-
mi.
exactly.
Like,
Yeah,
like
so
a-
narrow.
it's really
Well,
narrow.
Many there's a place near us, a Vietnamese place near us that I really want to try, but
Yeah.
their veggie pho says it's made with chicken stock.
Chicken, yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's. But yeah, it's like
Yes.
it's not like that.
And it's like that whole thing too, where like the things that make it here, it's like pho and banh mi I've seen.
Yes.
Yeah.
But there were other stuff I like clearly don't even remember the names.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't even know how to describe this. It was just like
Yeah.
a thing I dipped in a lot of other things and ate. I'm like, that was great. What's
Yeah.
that? How do I order that?
Yeah. I think that's true though, where it's like a cool thing about the States is like we do have a lot of
Yes.
different types of food.
Yeah.
But you'll often end up with like Chinese food is sweet and sour pork. And
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
well,
Yeah.
actually there's like a gazillion different Chinese
Yes,
dishes.
exactly,
Like,
exactly. And it was cool to see that and like see the different types of like dumplings or things wrapped in banana leaves and
Yeah.
steamed. Like
did it inspire you as a home
totally.
cook?
I was like, we all gotta be eating more herbs. We're crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Herbs need to be cheaper. We need to be eating
Yeah.
all of them.
I'm trying to grow as many herbs as I can.
I
now.
don't know how to grow anything because I need to grow herbs because my herb budget is out of control.
Yeah.
I need so
Yeah.
many herbs.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
I know. We should have herb vendors on the corners.
Yes.
So
That
we
would
could just
be so
grab them.
cute.
I would
Real quick.
love an herb vendor.
Yeah.
Okay, so herbs is a big takeaway.
Herbs is a big takeaway. We had Vietnamese hot pot, which I'd never had before.
Ooh.
And that broth, it came in that Da Nang vegan food tour. It was one of the last things we ate before dessert. I wish I hadn't eaten 47 other meals right before.
Yeah.
Because the broth, I'm like, I would just drink that. Because this hot pot had pineapple in it. So the broth
It's kind of sweet.
was super savory and then had this slight, like
I
fruity
love
tang.
a savory sweet.
And that had just
Yeah.
never occurred to me to put fruit in hot pot. Even though like one of my
Yeah.
favorite hot pot items is the like lacto fermented garlic, which
Yeah.
has that like sweet kind of taste. Putting that pineapple in there like fucked me up. That was so good. Damn.
Damn, that sounds so good.
Yeah, and there was a type of mushroom in there that when it was almost like a soup dumpling, you like put it in your mouth and it exploded, which was
my
cool.
God. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, right?
Are you kind of like, are you feeling now like you kind of like can't wait to go back? Or are you like,
Yeah.
I'm excited to explore other places, but I will recommend Vietnam to
I think I'm
everybody?
the latter. I mean, I would have to be so rich
Yeah.
to go back to a place I've been.
Yeah, you're
even though I
just
would
not the
love
type
to.
to return.
Yes,
Yeah.
even though I would love to. I'm just like simply need to be very rich.
Well, you probably also need to have time.
and time.
Yeah.
And I don't have either of those things.
Yeah.
But I would
Okay, you
love
just need
to.
more relatives to get married.
Yeah, to get married in Vietnam.
Yeah.
Because like culinarily, I'm just like, I just want to eat everything.
As many things as
Yeah.
possible.
I don't, from every country. I just want to keep eating.
I love it.
While you were there, like, did you were you very strict about vegetarianism?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know some people, hey, no judgment.
Yeah.
Are like, well, I'm in Iceland. I'm going to try whale or whatever.
Yeah.
Totally chill. I just
Yeah.
not a fan.
Well, because there's also like, oh, I'm not certain about this broth, but I'm just not gonna ask because I need to eat.
So I'm a freak and did so much research on all these places.
Yeah.
And then I also think, I'm trying to remember if I did this. I think I have like a little thing. Sometimes it's like no fish or like no, like,
Oh, a little.
Oh, you
card?
printed
My-
it out?
I don't know if
Smart.
I forget if I did it or if I just like memorized a little thing to say.
Yeah.
But my one of my family members got me a deck of cards that's 52
Yes.
cards around the world, and it
Yes.
says I'm a vegetarian, no fish,
That's
or
Yes,
so
whatever.
I've seen
cool.
those.
Well,
I've
'cause
thought about yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to Colombia
Yes.
soon, and I was asking at a restaurant I work at, like so many people are Spanish speakers,
Yeah.
so I was like asking how to communicate that you're
Yes.
vegetarian, and I was like, I can say like soy vegetariana or whatever, but I was like, yeah, but I've done that before, like in
Yeah.
Peru, and people like don't actually understand
Yeah,
what that means
Because it just means a lot
Yeah.
of vegetables, as far as I
Yes.
understand.
Totally. And
Yeah.
even if, that happened to me where I would get a soup and they're like, yeah, it's a ton of vegetables and chicken broth. And you're like, that
Yeah.
doesn't work.
Yes.
And then also just even the rules around vegetarianism where
Totally.
you're like, I can have
Fish,
eggs and
lamb,
butter,
yeah.
but not
Yeah,
fish. And they're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't see the difference
Yeah.
between those.
Totally.
It's like so hard to communicate. The cards are so smart.
Completely.
Yeah.
Cards are smart, and like we found a lot of places like the word che was
Yeah.
very helpful,
very helpful.
to know as a
Yeah.
as a like way to find this, and we did a lot of like research, so it didn't end up being an issue. I
Okay,
mean,
cool.
who knows? Maybe I secretly ate a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but your body would probably also,
Be upset. And they even had stuff that was like there was a quote unquote like spring roll making workshop on the boat. I would say, it was as intensive as it would be on a Carnival cruise where it's just like everything was already prepared. And I'm like, oh, okay. And it was me, a couple, and one very small child that attended it out of everybody on the boat. And they had fish sauce at the end to put on it. And then they had a vegetarian one.
I was
with
like,
a
pineapple.
I mean, maybe it was
it's like fermented pineapple.
Incredible.
I was
like,
that's
so
you can
nice.
get vegetarian
Yeah,
fish
you can
sauce.
buy
You can
buy it in the bottle there. It's so good.
We'll have to go.
Yeah, I'll
Really
show you.
need to
I've got it in the
have to
fridge.
go.
I'll show you. Yeah.
We have to go.
Yeah. Can I ask,
Please.
going back, so your boyfriend,
Yes.
while he's in Thailand,
Yes.
you were saying he had a pretty good mindset about it.
Yes. I don't know how.
All. Okay, because I was going to ask how. Like,
I don't know.
Because I feel like if I was by myself and that happened to me, I'd be like, well, this is just part of the adventure.
Yeah.
But if I was like with Rachel and
And I'm like, I'm going on a cruise and
Yeah,
I just
I'd
ate
be
at a
like,
Michelin restaurant.
I literally don't know the answer to this question because I told him multiple times I would not be dealing with this as well as you, and I've traveled more than he has.
Yeah.
I would be so mad at myself. I'd spend a lot of wasted energy being upset at myself.
What did he do in Thailand?
Nothing.
Nothing.
He was too afraid to leave his room.
Wow.
Do you feel like you guys came back from that trip like stronger as a couple, or like you learned new things about each other, like it made you excited to travel again? Like what were kind of like the partnership conclusions?
Yeah, partnership conclusions. I think we travel pretty well together. I like this food tour thing. I'm realizing is like a slam dunk activity.
I know.
Yeah, you just got to do it
every single time
I think
now.
we're gonna do some of those.
There's
Colombia.
Highly recommend.
Cool.
And I think I realized like he doesn't like to plan a lot and I love to. So I think we found a good groove of like days that could be more free days and days where we had a thing to look forward to, like the tour, which was nice. Because I think the tour ended up being my favorite part, but maybe he has a different answer. Like, oh, I liked sitting by the beach.
Or
whatever. I think too, we like found a good groove of like being in the airport. Like I realized he has certain airport tendencies for whatever reason. He likes to, once you get to the gate, walk around and see what's up in the terminal.
Oh, I love
we
that.
do that.
Yeah, we do that. We are big.
We're like, let's check out the gift shop or the restaurant.
Especially in
Pre-pandemic,
foreign countries.
yes,
airport.
in foreign countries for sure.
Yeah.
In pre-pandemic times, I'm no problem. I'm the easiest airport hang you ever met. I could live at an airport. Post-pandemic, because I mask up pretty heavily.
Yeah.
Something has happened to my stamina where walking around in an N95 that is like super tightly glued to my face with my backpack and a suitcase. I used to be, no question, a long pants, long sleeve in an airport because I'm always cold.
Yeah.
I have started to do shorts and t-shirt because I'm like, I'm overheating because of this
The
mask
really,
on my face,
Yeah.
plus all my gear.
I'll say
Yeah.
I love to be active. I hate carrying shit around.
Carrying-
My patience for carrying shit is so low.
Mine has gotten way lower. So now when I'm at the airport and I get to my terminal, I just want to plant. And I realized I would be like, I'll join you on this walk. And I'm like, am I going to faint? This is crazy. This is like a very new feeling for me.
Yeah.
I need to sit down and you can explore.
Yeah. I would like sometimes, even though like you feel that heat
Yes.
too of like, I don't want to be doing this.
Yes.
But I'm trying to be chill, but I really don't want to be
Yes,
doing
absolutely.
this. Yeah.
Truly. So we discovered some of those things.
Yeah.
And
But it sounds like you
yeah.
guys did a good job of being like, and we're just different and that's beautiful and we
Yes.
make it work.
I think so. And I think for him, I mean, I don't know that he'll have to be tested that way again, travel wise. So I feel like everything else should be kind of
He's never going to make that mistake again.
Yeah. And we also had he's like, from now on, let's exchange visas and double check each other. So we're not being lazy about any of the
Smart.
details because
That's
we haven't
cute.
memorized anything. I'm like,
know.
sure. No, I love a system.
Yeah.
You're like,
I'm like, ooh, that's a
you came to me, the
Yeah.
planner.
Yeah.
with an extra
With
plan.
the proposition. That's
No.
so cute.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's very special. So wait, what? Or I was going to
no.
ask, what's
Yeah,
next on the docket?
Yeah, that was my question too.
Wow.
What's the next trip?
I will say that he for a couples trip, has requested we go somewhere cold. He had never been to Asia. I don't know that he had even remotely been that hot before.
Yeah.
After that, he was like,
it's unbelievable.
I understand it. Yeah.
So he was like, can we please go to somewhere cold?
Yeah.
Yes. So he's like all about like, let's do a New England tour, you know, even like
it'd be
local.
so cool to go in the fall.
Because he loves driving and stuff. So I've never done like a road trip. I'm not a road trip person to my knowledge. Maybe I could be. I've never done one because it's so open-ended.
If there are food stops along
If
the
there's
way.
I'm like, it's so open-ended. I'm like, when are we stopping? You know, and I know that's not the vibe of a road
It's
trip.
about the travel, not the destination.
Yeah,
I will
Psycho.
say, I also don't like that because I fall asleep in cars very easily.
Yeah, and then I'm not fun.
Yeah, well, I'm not worried about being fun. I'm just like, like if you're like the trip is you're just unconscious for most of it.
That's what I mean. Like
yeah.
I'm like, why am I here? Why didn't I just go to bed at my house and then
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
drive?
Yeah.
Also, it feels like I'm like, you take me to Vermont. I'll go to bed.
I feel like though the purpose of a road trip is to be able to stop.
Yeah.
You know, at different places.
Yeah.
And like every couple hours, like see
Okay,
things
every
that
couple hours.
I mean, I don't know. It depends.
Is that a guarantee?
I'm not speaking for your boyfriend here. But it is like, I don't know. I enjoy being able to like, oh, what is that?
Yes.
Let's go see.
I would like to try it sometime because
Yeah.
it seems fun. He wants to do it like winter, which I'm like,
Yeah.
ooh, snow driving. Scary.
Snow
Yeah,
driving
that's a
is
little
scary.
different.
And also,
Yeah.
again, fall on the East Coast
I know.
is supposed
Fall
to
on
be its whole thing.
I know,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
fall's
yeah.
already like kind of happened.
Oh,
That's-
so you guys are.
Yeah.
Oh, he wanted to do
Soon.
this year. This is the other thing that's funny
okay.
about how he plans. He'll be like, I want to do this. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, that's your plan. Like, I'll let you take control.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
I'm like, okay, it's like,
Yeah.
it's like, and when you want to do this, though.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then I'm like,
it's
do you still want to do
snow's
this?
melting.
Yeah,
Are we
hi.
still going?
Hi,
or-
bringing it up again. Hi.
Yeah.
Your idea.
That's
Per
so
our conversation
Yeah.
that you had.
that you had with me
Yeah.
about your thing you want to do.
funny. Yeah.
A cold places, the Rockies and northern New Mexico.
Stop it.
Okay, never mind. You're right.
Never.
Quit pushing your trip.
I know. Okay, fine. But I get that though. Like, I want to go. I don't know. Especially after a summer in LA.
This was nuts. This summer
was
sucked.
it's
still
a bad
happening.
Summer. I know
Yeah.
it's still happening. It's in the upper 80s right
Yeah.
now. And I just want to go someplace cold.
Yeah.
I'm a Portland boy.
Yes. I'm a Northeast person. I get you. Fall here is really. I was so happy the last 2 days because it was like
know.
so.
Oh, the overcast
Yeah,
streak.
I
I was
know,
like,
it was so great.
okay.
It was really
Yeah.
nice out.
My aunt got me these like they're called glur-up slippers. They're like Icelandic wool
Wow.
slippers
Yeah.
because my feet do get cold.
Yeah.
And I got to wear them for like 3 days, and then it was like it's 80 out again.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I'm like,
absolutely.
Oh, there go the glur-ups back
Bye.
into storage.
Yep. Glare ups to glare downs.
Glur downs,
Glare downs.
Glare down.
stand down.
Yeah, glare down.
Yeah.
Glare down.
glur down.
Mission control. Glare down.
Glare down. The heat's back.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. The third summer. This is the third summer now in LA.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what can you do?
But it never ends until Halloween, pretty much.
But that's why it's good to get out of town.
Yeah,
It
it's
is.
good to get out of town.
Well,
Cool. So, okay, real quick.
Yeah.
Overall, best thing you ate was the banh mi.
The best thing I ate was the Madame Khan banh mi.
Okay,
you have
best
to
thing
eat
you ate.
it.
incredible.
Coolest site was Bay.
Coolest site, Halong Bay, and honestly, the Hoi An lanterns at night.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
not
really
the fire
beautiful.
breathing bridge.
That was really cool, but I think the Hoi An lantern thing was like an impromptu plan. We didn't know that we were going to do that,
Cool.
and it was so pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quintessential perfect moment from the trip.
Oh,
that you wish you
using
could go
our-
back to
yeah,
whenever you
yeah,
wanted.
good question.
That's such a good question. Quintessential perfect. I mean, honestly, paragliding was nuts.
Wow.
Or
Hell
I
yeah.
was so scared. I kept doing because I was behind my boyfriend while we were like lifting into the air. Don't know how to swim, flying over an ocean, and I was breathing so heavily. He's like, "You okay?" I'm like, and I just kept saying, "I'm regulating."
So you,
I do
the
find that to be
quintessential
beautiful.
perfect moment is you want to
Yeah.
go back to
Yes,
regulating
because it was like, wow, this is so new. And I had this thought. Oh my God, this is so sick, Rachel. But I had this thought where I was like, why am I looking at Instagram and feeling bad about myself when other improvisers post things? I'm flying over
Dude,
the water.
I love that.
I'm thermoregulating and hyperventilating over the water right now.
You had a moment of like, I'm exactly where I want to be.
Yes, I'm like,
I don't
this
wish I
is
was anywhere
cool.
else.
Yeah,
Oh,
totally.
Rekha.
Yeah, that was
I
very
love
cool.
that.
Yeah.
And I love that it took something so scary to shock you out of your system.
Yeah, it took doing a thing that if it doesn't go well, I die.
Okay, so
Yeah.
okay, so maybe ice driving will be that.
Yeah, maybe that's good. That's good.
Thank you so much for joining.
Yeah, thank you for coming
Rachel.
back.
This is so fun.
Where can tell us where to
Yes.
find you right now? What are you up to?
Yes, follow me on Instagram at Rekha_S. I'm gonna be doing a newsletter soon, so you can follow that for little quick stories.
Where can we sign up for the newsletter?
It'll be on a link in there. I'm doing it via the Kit. Does that help you? But it'll be up there soon-ish.
Cool.
Other than that, see me and Rachel perform at UCB a
Yes.
lot.
Yes.
That's always
Yes.
really fun.
Bitchin'.
Second
on Bitchin'.
Fridays
Yeah.
at 10 o'clock.
Yes. Catch Digman on Paramount Plus and Comedy Central.
Yeah.
And go to my website, rekashankar.com, and watch all my videos and be nice to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
you
go
have
there
to
and be
nice
mean.
to
Please
her.
don't be mean.
Don't
Yeah.
be mean on that website.
Please.
And I'll also
Yeah.
shout out Rekha's Instagram because she has a lot of good sassy content.
Oh,
Yes, thank you. Sassy is my
which
roommate's
really
dog,
important.
and she's very
Yeah.
beautiful. She
She's
looks like
a beautiful
pig.
golden pig dragon.
She
Yeah.
she has
she's-
dragon eyes, but she's
Yeah.
a pig.
She is definitely a pig,
Yeah.
for sure.
I know. I wonder if her and Danny have any relation, because Danny we think is part pig.
Or a pig.
Pig goat.
Oh my God, would they like each other? Do you think?
I think they'd be pretty indifferent to each
I
other.
think
Yeah.
Sassy either doesn't notice a dog or like care about them at all, or hates them.
Oh,
Oh,
Danny
man.
either loves them or doesn't
Ignores.
care.
Interesting.
Yeah, ignores. Yeah.
All right, we'll
Beautiful.
test it.
Okay, test it.
Okay, thanks for coming by.